everyone, my name is Judy. Welcome back to the Bloomstick YouTube channel. Today we are going to show you how to dry your flowers in silica. Silica gel is a type of sand that will draw the moisture out of your flowers and keep its shape and color. To dry your flowers, first you're going to need a container with a lid. Make sure that the container is big enough to fit all your flowers. You're going to need your silica gel. We like to use the Activia brand, but there's also other really great brands that you can find on Amazon. And of course, you need your flowers that you're gonna dry. And then lastly, you're gonna need a pair of scissors. So first, we're gonna start off by grabbing your container, and then we are gonna scoop some of the silica gel to our cup, and we're just gonna slowly put a thin layer down. Once you have your thin layer down, you are going to take your scissors and we are going to cut off the stem. We only need the head of the flowers, so cut it off right there. And then we're going to lay the flowers out. And we're gonna leave a little bit of space so that they're not touching each other. Oopsies. So for flowers with a lot of petals, I like to kind of push it down a little bit so it opens up the petals. With flowers like this, they tend to dry a little bit more delicate, so just keep in mind that sometimes when they dry, a lot of the petals will fall out. And that's something that is a natural occurrence when it comes to drying flowers. So I have my first layer down. Remember not to pack it too much and give it a little bit of space. So I have all good to go. And so we're gonna take some more of the silica gel into our cup, and we're just gonna slowly start layering and covering the whole flower. I like to go on the sides and make sure that the sides are fully covered. And I like to go around the flower and kind of just mess with it and make sure that everything is covered. And so with roses, we have a lot of layers and petals, so we just want to make sure that we're putting the silica gel inside each layer, because if you don't do this part and you just cover the outside, the center of the rose is going to rot and it's not going to be pretty. So I like to kind of spread it out and then kind of push it down a little, shake it up a little bit, just really making sure that all the silica is in between those layers. You want to be very careful too during this part, because we don't want to push too much or create any sort of damage onto the petals. A lot of times when preserving flowers in resin, something that happens a lot is bruising, and that is something that is out of your artist's control. There are ways to kind of hide the bruising a little bit. You can color enhance to help with that, but if you are more of a natural look kind of person and don't want your flowers to be enhanced, then bruising is going to be something that you might see. And to avoid that, it all starts with the handling of your fresh flowers. So the more you mess and touch the petals, the more of your hand oils touching the petals, then it gives it more opportunity to bruise during the resin process. So now I have my first layer covered. These flowers are all covered. I don't see any petals sticking out. I'm going to do my second layer. And so you just keep, the more flowers you have, you're just gonna repeat this process until your flowers are all completely submerged with the silica gel. Go. So I'm actually gonna move the orchid over here and move the rose over here because I just want to make sure that the rose will be completely covered. Just want to give it some space, make sure the sides of it is completely covered, and I'm over here making sure that the layers are covered with silica and it's really getting in between those layers. Down. I like to work kind of like all over and just really make sure that there's enough space and it's spaced out evenly rather than focusing on one section first and then doing it by section. I feel like if you spread it around, it's a little bit easier to see how much you have left and how much space you have left. And then when it comes to petals that push out a lot, it's really a personal preference. Some people like the larger rose look and some people don't. So this is a chance for you to really manipulate the petals and the shape of the flower, because whatever shape you have it set with a silica gel is whatever shape it's gonna come out to as a dried flower. So this part, super easy. I like to kind of pull the sides of the container too to really make sure that the sides are completely covered, and I even like to kind of pull and then spread the silica around. And see, we are almost finished. So with silica gel, you'll see that this part is blue. We actually have mixed our silica gel, so some of it is orange, some of it is blue. It depends on which brand that you use. Typically with the Activia brand, that is easier to find in the craft stores. That's gonna start off a blue color, and then once it's dry, it's gonna change colors. So for you to know if a silica is okay to use, you're gonna look at the color. And what's great about silica gel is that you're able to recharge it and reuse it. And so if your silica has changed colors, you can just stick it in the oven and you are able to recharge it and then reuse it again. So now we have our container fully filled, we have our flowers completely covered, and we are gonna just close the lid, and then we are gonna let our flowers go and have its beauty rest. So now that we have our flowers all covered in silica and all stored away, we are going to let it sleep for a few weeks and then come back and check on them. Typically, when drying flowers with silica, it can range anywhere from a couple weeks to even a month. It really depends on what type of flowers, the size of the flowers, and the thickness of the flowers. So whenever the petals of your flowers turn into a paper-like texture, then you'll know that it's ready to use and you'll know it's fully dry. Just make sure to always touch the center of the flowers, especially with the roses, and make sure the center is fully dry. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this has taught you how to dry your flowers in silica. If you have any questions, just feel free to reach out. We're always here to help, and enjoy drying your flowers. Have a good day.